Hello and welcome once again. Another segment brought to you by Straight Bat. The way we do this is Trisha kind of comes up with her hypothesis, and then we try and see if we have quantifiable evidence provided by the Straight Bat team to substantiate that hypothesis. More often than not, it is actually working. And today we are focusing on someone who will be hugely important come Sunday against India, Laura Wolvaardt. One of the better players in that South African team, if not the best. One of the better players in the world at the moment. 44 against Australia. Somebody said, not in form, come on. Definitely one of the best players in the world. India will have to stop Laura Wolvaardt to make that semi-final. The question that we are talking about today, Laura Wolvaardt stepped out, inside out, over, and for 6. Next ball, Sophie Molyneux dragging the ball a bit wide, and that strength was her downfall. So let's go to Trisha, understand what she's talking about, what's the hypothesis here, what is the quantifiable research saying, and then we'll come back and understand if a player's strength can also become her weakness.
Thank you, Boria. So what caught my eye was almost identical shots. The ball's line was different, not the length. The line was different, and what that did was Laura Wolvaardt had to reach out for the second ball, which became her downfall. The first one, she brought her bat down behind the line of the ball, and that's where the power was generated. Laura Wolvaardt, as Boria rightly said, is going to be the most important wicket for South Africa, not only against India, I think their most important wicket. So if you see the video on the right. Yeah, on the right is the 6 over long off against Sophie Molyneux. Look at her, if you look at the bat coming down, see, she stepped out of the crease, created room for herself, got to the pitch of the ball and hit a clean strike. The important part here is the bat came from behind the line of the ball. And that's why the sweet spot, if you just take a look, the sweet spot was 92%. And the timing index, and this is where I think you have to understand that Laura Wolvaardt is not about power. She generates power because she gets impeccable timing. And the timing in that 6 over long off was 94%. If you see the replica of her shot, you can clearly see the index. Now let's go to the one on the left, which is the very next ball. Sophie Molyneux, the same bowler, same Laura Wolvaardt steps out. But this time, Sophie Molyneux cleverly just drags the ball outside of almost close to the wide line, which means she has, remember, Laura Wolvaardt is already trying to give room to herself, and she almost ends up cutting the ball rather than hitting it inside out over long off. Now see, the sweet spot percent from 92% in the first shot comes down to 72%. And the timing index, again, which is something which defines Laura Wolvaardt, from 94% comes down to 89%, which is where she could not get the elevation, she could not get the gap, and she hit a low ball straight to the fielder at extra cover, and Georgia Wareham took a good catch. In fact, the Straight Bat insight shows that elite players, while hitting in the air, have 16% higher impact speed while hitting over long off as compared to over covers. Because naturally, why is it important that people hit on the weave? Because your bat stays like this instead of covers where it has to go like that. So that part is important, and that is exactly what is shown via the replica of Laura Wolvaart's actual shots against Australia. But that clearly shows, Boria, that the strength, the inside out shot is Laura Wolvaart's strength. Churney, push it down, push it a little wider, force her to play that same shot, and you can turn it into a weakness.
We've seen that happen many times with cricketers. Rohit Sharma's one of his favorite shots, if not his favorite shot, is the pull shot or the hook shot. How many times have you seen Rohit Sharma fall to the pull shot and the hook shot?
Correct.
Many times. I mean, and we're like, again, Rohit Sharma is an instinctive puller and a hooker of the cricket ball. The moment he sees it set up, he will go for it. At times, he can't control it. So you have seen, again, Sachin Tendulkar's 241. He curved the cover drive because it's his bread and butter. He would come and play that shot. Saurav Ganguly. So many players, you will see some of their favorite shots turn into weakness because they get that extra degree of confidence there. Virat Kohli, many times. Rohit Sharma is perhaps the best example here with his pull shot and the hook shot. So that's what the whole Laura Wolvaardt story is also about. And like she said, if you have an hypothesis, now it is important that we substantiate it with data. Motion Intelligence Company allows us, straight bat, founded by Gagan, Rahul and Madhu, allows us to quantifiably understand research much better, hypothesis much better. And that's what we are trying to do for our viewers. Navneet brings up these great simulated videos, the replicas. So hats off to him. This is becoming a segment which we are really fancying. Going forward, we've already struck a partnership to do this for the Asian Games as well. And as the reaction from our viewers, as the reception, the perception that we are seeing now, that people do want to see data, do want to see in-depth analysis. So this is working very well. So Gagan, you should be very proud of what you've been able to achieve. But as far as India is concerned, is there a possibility? Can Sri Charani be used on Sunday to control? Or Adipti Sharma? Can you use either of them to control a Laura Wolvaardt? Keep watching this space. But for now, that's all we have. Thank you very much for watching. We are in Manchester. Come Sunday, the big game, India versus South Africa.